क्लास 10th पॉलिटिकल साइंस चैप्टर 1 पावर शेयरिंग। इस वीडियो में हम लोग MCQ क्वेश्चंस, assertion एंड रीजन बेस्ड MCQs, केस स्टडी बेस्ड MCQs एंड पिक्चर बेस्ड MCQs को डिस्कस करेंगे। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, बेल्जियम शेयर्स बॉर्डर विद फ्रांस, Netherlands, Germany and dash. Options are England, B. Norway, C. Luxembourg, D. Italy. And the answer is option C, that is Luxembourg. Question number 2. In the capital city, Brussels, 80% people speak dash. Options are A. French, B. Dutch, C. German, D. English, and answer is option A, that is French. Question number 3. 20% of people of Brussels speak dash. Options are A. Dutch, B. English, C. German, D. Italian, and the correct answer is option A, that is Dutch. Brussels presented a special problem. What was it? A. Dutch-speaking people constituted a minority in the country but a majority in the capital. B. Dutch-speaking people constituted a majority in the country but minority in the capital. C. Other foreign languages were being spoken in Brussels. And D. English was becoming dominant in Brussels. Answer is option B. That is, Dutch-speaking people constituted a majority in the country but a minority in the capital. Question number 5. What percentage of Sri Lankan population is Tamil speaking? A. 50%, B. 20%, C. 18%, D. 16%, and answer is option C, that is 18%. Question number 6. The people whose forefathers came from India to Sri Lanka as plantation workers during the colonial period are called. Options are A. Sri Lankan Tamils, B. Indian Tamils, C. Tamil Indians, and D. Indian Sri Lankans, and answer is option B, that is Indian Tamils. Question number 7. Most of the Sinhalese speaking people in Sri Lanka are dash. A. Hindus, B. Christians, C. Muslims, D. Buddhists, and answer is option D, that is Buddhist. Question number 8. When did Sri Lanka emerge as an independent country? Options are 1949, B. 1950, C. 1948, D. 1951, and answer is option C, that is 1948. Question 9. In dash, an act was passed to recognize Sinhalese as the only official language, thus disregarding Tamil. The government followed preferential policies that favored Sinhalese applicants for university positions and government jobs. Options are A. 1956, B. 1957, C. 1958, D. 1959, and correct answer is option B, that is 1957. Question number 10. All these government measures coming one after other gradually increased the dash among the Sri Lankan Tamils. Options are A. Protest, B. Favoritism, C. Feeling of alienation, and D. Subordination, and answer is option C, that is feeling of alienation. Question number 11. By the 1980s, several political organizations were formed demanding dash. Options are certain rights, B. Independent Tamil Elam, C. Sovereign state, D. Priority in jobs for Tamils, and answer is option B, that is Independent Tamil Elam. Question number 12. When did the civil war of Sri Lanka ended? Options are A. 2010, B. 2009, C 2005, and D 2011. And correct answer is option B, that is 2009. Question number 13. How many times was the Constitution of Belgium amended between 1970 and 1993? Options are 3 times, B 2 times, C 4 times, and D once. And answer is option C, that is 4 times. Question number 14. The Constitution of Belgium prescribes that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers dash in the central government. Options are shall be equal, B Dutch speaking shall be more, C French speaking will be more, and D none of the above. And correct answer is A, that is shall be equal. Question number 15. The community government is elected by people belonging to one language community, Dutch, French, and German speaking. What powers does it hold? Options are A. Cultural, educational, and language related issues, B. Political issues, C. Defense related issues, and D. All of the above. And correct answer is option A, that is cultural, educational, and language related issues. Question number 16. Give reason as to why power sharing can be good for a country. Options are A. It helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. B. It is good way to ensure the stability of political order. C. It does not lead to confusion in managing the state. And D. Both A and B. And the correct option is D, that is both A and B. Question number 17. Give one moral reason as why power sharing is good. Options are A. It helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. B. It does not lead to confusion in managing the state. C. People have a right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. D. Power sharing is a good way to ensure the stability of political order. And the correct answer is option C. Question number 18. The idea of power sharing has emerged in opposition to dash. Options are A. Democracy, B. Dictatorship, C. Monarchy, D. Undivided political power under one sect. And answer is option D. Question number 19. Give one example of horizontal distribution of power. Options are A. Governments at the provincial or regional level, B. Legislature, executive, and judiciary, C. Among different social groups, D. Political parties, pressure groups, and movements. And answer is option B. Question number 20. Which is the federal division of power? Options are A. Governments at the provincial or regional level, B. Legislature, executive, and judiciary, C. Among different social groups, D. Political parties, pressure groups, and movements. And answer is option A. Question number 21. Where power is shared among different organs of government, such as the legislature, executive, and judiciary, what is the functioning of this system called? Options are A. Horizontal system, B. System of checks and balances, C. System of shared duties, D. System of limited power. And answer is option B. Question number 22. Consider the following statements about power sharing arrangement in Belgium and Sri Lanka. 1. In Belgium, the Dutch speaking majority people tried to impose their domination on the minority French speaking community. 2. In Sri Lanka, the policies of the government sought to ensure the dominance of the Singla speaking majority. 3. The Tamils in Sri Lanka demanded a federal arrangement of power sharing to protect their culture, language, and equality of opportunity in education and jobs. 4. The transformation of Belgium from unitary government to a federal one prevented a possible division of the country on linguistic lines. Which of the statements is correct? A. All of the above. B. 1, 2, 4. C. 3 and 4. And D. 2, 3 and 4. And answer is option B. Question number 23. In Sri Lanka, there are about dash percent Christians who are both Tamil and Singla. Options are A 10%, B 15%, C 7%, and D 12%. And answer is option C. Question number 24. In Sri Lanka, the democratically elected government adopted a series of dash measures to establish Singla supremacy. Options are A. Extreme, B. Democratic, C. Political, D. Majoritarian. And answer is option D. Question number 25. In Sri Lanka, a new constitution stipulated that the state shall protect and foster dash. Options are A. Hindus, B. Buddhists, C. Christianity, and D. Islam. And answer is option B. That is Buddhist. Question number 26. In Belgium, dash. A. The state governments are not subordinate to the central government. B. The state governments are subordinate to the central government. C. The state governments have no say before the central government. D. The state government can contradict the central government. And answer is option A. Question number 27. When many countries of Europe came together to form the European Union, dash was chosen as the headquarter. Options are A. Paris, B. Brussels, C. Rome, D. London. And answer is option B. Question number 28. Name one prudential reason for power sharing. Options are A. Power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. B. People have a right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. C. Citizens, through participation, acquire a stake in the system. D. Power sharing is a good because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. And answer is option D. Question number 29. Different arguments are usually put forth in favor of and against power sharing. Identify those which are in favor of power sharing and select the answer using the codes given below. Power sharing 1. Reduces conflict among different social communities. 2. Decreases the possibility of arbitrariness. C. Delays decision making process. 4. Accommodates diversities. 5. Increases instability and divisiveness. 6. Promotes people's participation in the government. And 7. Undermines the unity of the country. And option A 1, 2, 4 and 6. B 1, 3, 5 and 6. C 1, 2, 4 and 7. And D 2, 3, 4 and 7. And the correct answer is option C. Question number 30. Consider the following two statements on power sharing and select the answer using the codes given below. First statement, power sharing is good for democracy. 2. It helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. Which of these statements are true and false? Option A 1 is true but 2 is false. B both 1 and 2 are true. C both 1 and 2 are false. D 1 is false but 2 is true. And the correct answer is option B. Now we will discuss some assertion and reason based MCQs. Here Some directions are given, and in these questions you have to mark the option which is most suitable. For statement, for marking option A, if both assertion and reason are true and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. B. If both assertion and reason are true but reason is not correct explanation of assertion. C. If assertion is true but reason is false. D. If both assertion and reason are false. So, the first question is assertion. Tyranny of majority is highly desirable. Reason, it helps in making the political order more stable. And answer is option D. That means both assertion and reason are false. Question number 2. Assertion. In Belgium, the leaders realized that the unity of the country is possible by respecting the feelings and interests of different countries. Reason, Belgium favored Dutch speaking community, and answer is D. That means both assertion and reason are false. Question number 3. Assertion. French speaking community in Belgium was rich and powerful. Reason, Belgian government favored French speaking community. Here answer is option C, that is assertion is true but reason is false. Question number 4. Assertion. In a democracy, everyone has voice in the shaping of public policies. Reason, India has a federal system. Here answer is option B. That means both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Question number 5. Assertion. Power should reside with one person and group located at one place in a democracy. Reason, if the power is dispersed, it will not be possible to take decision quickly and enforce it. Here answer is option D, that is both assertion and reason are false. Question number 6. Assertion. Belgium and Sri Lanka both faced ethical tension among different communities. Reason, both the countries resolved the conflict by power sharing arrangement which gave equal representation to all the communities. Answer option is C. That is assertion is true but reason is false. Question number 7. Assertion. There was a feeling of alienation among Sri Lankan Tamils. Reason, the Sri Lankan government denied them equal political rights and discriminated against them in getting jobs and other opportunities. And answer is option A, that is both assertion and reason are true and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Question number 8. Assertion. Community government in Belgium is elected by one language community. Reason, community government helped in resolving conflict between different linguistic groups. Here, answer is option A. That means both assertion and reason are true and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Question number 9. Singla was recognized as only official language of Sri Lanka. Reason, the government of Sri Lanka wanted to establish the supremacy of Singla community. And answer is option A. That means both assertion and reason are true and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Question number 10. Assertion. Power sharing is good. Reason, it leads to ethical tension. Answer is option C, that is assertion is true but reason is false. अब हम लोग पिक्चर बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस को डिस्कस करेंगे. Question number 1. Which of the following options best signifies the circle portion of the map of Belgium? Options are A. Walloon, that is French speaking region. B. Brussels, that is the capital of Belgium. C. German speaking region. And D. Flemish, that is Dutch speaking region. So that is the circle portion, and the correct option is B. So the answer is option B, that is it is the Brussels, the capital of Belgium. Now next question. Which community is concentrated in the circle part of the map of Sri Lanka? A. Sinhalese. B. Sri Lankan Tamils. C. Indian Tamils. And D. Sri Lankan Muslims. And here the correct answer is option C, that is Indian Tamils. Now look this image carefully. The photograph of a street addresses in Belgium signifies dash. Options are A. The capital of Belgium. B. Names and directions in two different languages. C. Two different things. D. None of the above. And here answer is option B. Look at this image carefully. The building in the picture stands for dash. Options are A. UN headquarter. B. Parliament of Belgium. C. European Union Parliament. And D. None of the above. And the correct option is C, that is European Union Parliament. Look at this image carefully. Which of the following options best signify this cartoon? Options are A. Problem of power distribution. B. Problems of running the Germany's grand coalition. C. Power to be shared equally between two parties. And D. All of the above. And here the correct answer is option B. Now the next image. What according to this cartoon is the relationship between democracy and concentration of power? Options are A. In democracy, right concentration of power is required. B. In democracy, more than two leaders are required to run a government. C. In democracy, power resides in the hands of leader. And D. All of the above. And here answer is option D.